what is now Week in Review in World, or in World Week in Review, or something. The Inworld.
Welcome everybody to another episode of the Inworld Review. I'm logged in here today. I'm James Atloud here on the HG Safari grid, and I am looking forward to a fascinating discussion today with our guest from the Wolf Territories grid, and our guest is none other than Lone Wolf. Lone Wolf, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello.
We're going to talk about some very exciting technology today, but let me also introduce over on the couch next to me is Pet Love Pet Shop.
Hi everybody. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And I am a little bit sad to report that Thursa's not feeling well today, and so she's not able to join us. But we're gonna proceed along as best as we can, and feature our guest today. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to show the Hypergrid happenings that was posted last Saturday. So here we go with that.
For Inworld Review, I'm Thursa Ember, and once again, this is Hypergrid Happenings. Aussie Envy passed me this poster about the ongoing St. Patrick fun over on Event Plaza this weekend. As you can see, the event includes DJ Aussie, Yupa, DJ Q, Ain't, Charisse, Evan, of course, Nanda, DJ Per, and Lady Joe. So a wonderful mixture of seasoned DJs and live music. Speaking of seasoned DJs, we have DJ Amosis, who was an old friend of Geo Portal. Geo and DJ Amosis have been friends since 2009, back in the days of Second Life. So you can imagine he's a very good player. You see him here in the picture with Anoket and Zafiro, who work as grid managers. The next thing I'd like to show you is the fact that it's not just the vernal equinox this Saturday, the 21st of March. Oh. It's also International Poetry Day. And if you go over to Craft Grid on Noi Lab 2, you can experience international poetry at its best. There are people of a variety of languages, Italian, German, English too in there, and you can experience their thoughts and their philosophical ideas about the spring over on Craft Grid this Saturday, beginning around 12:30 grid time. Another fun thing to do this Saturday is to go to School. This is run by Cooper Swizzle, Kim Starr, and Koshari Mahana, of course. And they're doing this over on their new grid called Curiosity. Finally, there's an air race coming up on the 11th of April. This is on Pangea grid on a region called August Euler Flughafen. I don't know how I managed to say that all in one go, but there we go. I achieved it. This Saturday at around 12 noon grid time, which is 9 p.m. in Europe, or 8 p.m. rather. You can go over and learn how to fly these planes. Carsten Running Bear, who built the region together with Jason and Finja Flux, they will help you learn how to fly these planes so that maybe you can win this wonderful race coming up in about a month. And so these are all the various things that are happening. It's just the tip of the iceberg, really. Many more things happening all over OpenSim this week. Plus, of course, we have Lone Wolf coming on Inworld Review this Sunday. So you can enjoy that at 11 a.m. grid time. And we will be learning all about his new viewer. All this, and of course, next week there'll be another Hypergrid happening. See you then.
Oh, my goodness. You know, that language is so funny. Her pronouncing German. I had to laugh. That was so cute. I don't know. Any reaction to what you saw there, Pet Love?
I have to be honest with you, James. I couldn't hear it.
Oh
I can do
no.
it live.
Oh
Yeah, I'm
really?
so sorry. Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, she.
you have
If
one.
yeah, if you saw the videos, she talked about the first one is so funny because she would mention DJ Ozzy, which is spelled Aussie. I kept hearing DJ Ozzy, and I'm thinking, is that the Wizard of Oz? So it's these multiple
Uh,
languages that we deal with on OpenSim, but that's honestly that's what makes it fantastic. We get to explore all these great cultures. So and then interesting Lone about Cooper Swizzle and those folks because I know they've got space on your grid as well. So
Yeah, yeah. They have quite a few regions, I think. Four by
yeah,
fours. Yeah.
yeah. So they're doing honestly they're doing amazing stuff. They're really kind of pushing the envelope on education. The plane racing, I'm not sure. I'm up for that. I, can- I can remember Mal would be he'd be we'd go to plane racing on the Mobius grid with the
Oh yeah.
Sonic the Hedgehog people, and he just said, "Oh, here I go. I'm going to crash some planes again." So,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right.
uh,
Well, thanks for the happenings, and that could be another question that we have today, which is this the entertainment and social portions of what we do on the hypergrid. But actually, I think let's get to the main topic today, and we're talking about the topic we brought today is about the new viewer that Lone Wolf is working on. But I thought I'd like to get started, Lone, first of all by for people who aren't really familiar with the technology, could you talk about a little bit the difference between the Open Simulator server, which is that's
Yeah.
what the OS devs work on, and then the viewer software? And in my mind, I think the magic happens in the viewer. Does that seem right?
Yeah, yeah, you're about right. So the Open Simulator server software sits on lots of servers. In our case, we have quite a big cluster of servers running on our thing called Wolf Stack. And basically, what it does is it manages all the interactions with people. It sends all the data. It describes to the viewer how things should look, and then the viewer kind of gets that data and then builds the picture in front of you, if you like. So the Firestorm view and Second Life viewer, well, if you're on Second Life, there's other viewers that have been built because it's open source. We kind of some time ago I was just thinking about all the devices it doesn't run on, like Google Chromebooks and
Mm-hmm.
mobile phones and VR headsets and things like that. There is a VR version of Firestorm, and I was kind of looking at the technology we have now, and I decided to rewrite Firestorm in a web browser. That was a good idea.
Amazing. Yeah.
It's been so much months and months of frustrating work, but so I think you've got some questions and things. So if you want to ask your questions, and
Yeah, sure, sure. Yeah, thank
I'll
you for
see where
that.
you.
Yeah, that
That's all.
introduction. I think you say open simulator and the technology can kind of blur, but the
Yeah,
things that
yeah,
people do with the viewer, that's really where I mean that's so much of what we're doing here with moving camera angles, rendering textures. That's all
yeah.
all pretty on the viewer side of it. Um, so yeah, well, let's get right to it. Why did you and your team decide to make a viewer? You talked a little bit about looking at the different
Yeah.
devices, but my goodness, what propelled you into this project?
So, yeah, so also we really love education and what you can do with OpenSim education, and we wanted to create a viewer that would run in a web browser, so you wouldn't need to download it or have any special hardware. We also had a client that was talking to us about running virtual exhibitions, and I was thinking people are not going to want to download the Firestorm viewer. They want to access it in the web. Now, so we just decided that this was the driver for us to rebuild Firestorm as a web application. We also have something called CodeWolf, which we've been developing that helps us in migrating software from one platform to another. So yeah, so that's really the reasons behind it, I guess.
And what can you tell us about the team of people working on it?
So I'm kind of lead, and then I've got my youngest brother actually.
Oh, interesting.
Does the UI stuff, and then we've got another guy who does a lot of legal stuff and makes sure that keeps us all in line. Oh, Ben, who's great. So we're a tiny team.
Amazing. Do you
That is amazing.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah, Pet Love, do you have questions about the team structure and the origin of the project?
Well, first I want to say kudos because the three of you have been so productive on something so huge. It affects so many people, and I know very little about the technology that you're dealing with, but from what I've learned, it's amazing, and you guys all deserve kudos. Um, when I heard you were developing a new viewer, I wondered if that meant it was something that anybody on the hypergrid could use, or can we only use it on your regions?
So
That's the first.
we're not really at the stage to make that decision, but we won't be able to host it for other grids, and that's because of something called GDPR. And people will be logging in with. We would be able to capture their username and password for the other grid.
Oh
So
yeah.
because we're hosting the actual viewer, so that's not the way it's going to go. If and when we decide to push it out as an open source project, which we have other projects that are open source, and I'll show you one of those as well. Then we're aware of how much support it'll need and how many people have to be really hot on servers and running Rust and running different things, and you won't be able to run it on like a tiny server because you're transferring a lot of the work that the front end viewer does with Firestorm is transferred to a piece of Rust software at the back end. So you need some pretty powerful servers to be able to deliver it. So yeah, that's all really in the air. So it's not no and it's not yes, it's maybe. Which
Still
isn't
in
an answer at all.
progress.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
yeah, it is. It is definitely.
it's kind of in progress.
And that answers my next question. If I were a grid owner, would I be able to run it on my own grid? But that would be a grid is a region, right? And so I could run it on a region if it was in your region. Yeah.
So
in your grid.
There's lots of different grids all running on their own servers with different grid software and different OpenSim software, different operating systems. This will only work on Linux. It won't run on Windows at all. Not a hope, because of the amount of power that we need to actually deliver.
Wow.
The software. So yeah, good.
Okay. That answers my current questions.
Oh, okay.
Back to you, James.
Yeah, sure. Still thinking about the team. Do you have people who are helping with beta testing? And I know this is, we're not public release. We're not going to be sharing any URLs. But who's kicking the wheels on it?
We do have 3 or 4 people on the grid who are doing a bit of testing with it, but we're kind of we're between alpha and beta testing, and I'll show you when I show you the viewer. I can show you why. So that's really where we're at with it, and we will be recruiting more beta testers as time goes on, but we have to really control what's going on because we're trying to log traffic and things like that.
Right.
So yeah.
Oh, amazing. I can only imagine. I could not do it myself for sure. Well, you talked about sharing. Do you feel this is a good time to let us take a peek at it?
Let's do it.
I've seen a lot of improvements.
Right, so share my screen.
Yep.
Your entire screen. Sorry, I'm just talking about what I'm doing while I'm doing it.
Oh, I have to do that too.
A lot of people do.
That's the only way my brain can work. Yep.
Can you see my screen okay?
I think I got it, yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wolfstorm viewer. I'm at Wolf Territories exhibition now with an avatar. And so basically, there's a lot of things that works in it. We're adding new stuff into it that isn't in the current viewer, like being able to make it rain. So what you'll be able to do is actually have a script in a box. You'll do LL say 57 rain, and the viewer will do the raining. So we've got quite a lot of things like sunrise, storm. That's to do with water, which you can't see at the moment. We'll go somewhere else where you can.
Yeah, okay.
Midday, and it uses shared environment as well. So we've got quite a lot of things working. So for instance, if I pull up his inventory, we've got inventory going.
Oh, okay.
We've got chat working. We've got instant messaging working. We've got friends list working. We've got the map working. So I can go sandbox. And this is just a web browser.
Yeah, those are big pieces of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you can zoom out a little bit. So go to our grid sandbox, and we've got teleporting working. And remember, this is all a complete rewrite of Firestorm, so it's not going to run mega as quickly as normal because we are actually streaming, and I'm in Firestorm as well.
That's
Right,
right. You're
right.
sending a
Mm.
signal to us, and you're pulling this
Really,
in.
really powering through
Yep.
this. So this is our grid sandbox. It's not too bad. We are working a lot on caching and things like that, but what you have to understand is that this is a really different technology to Firestorm. In that the viewing, the front end bit that you're seeing, a lot of the stuff that we would normally do at the front end, we've written some Rust software. So I was talking to James earlier about how this works, and so basically what happens is that at the front end, to get this, we have a piece of Rust software that interfaces with the web browser and the grid, because one of the problems with OpenSim is it runs something called UDP, which is a networking protocol, and browsers can't do it. So we actually that's how we do it. We have a Rust server that's running, and that's where the interesting things come. And we've got water, so we've also been experimenting. You can see the water working there. With doing different stuff with water, like changing the way that it works.
And the height is going up and down on the water level. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah. So you can see that with a storm, it's much more.
Right.
You can see it. The waves are much bigger.
It looks so realistic. That's really terrific.
Yep.
It's not bad for a web browser, really, is it? But we've got other things working, like About Land is working with pixel prims. Yeah, that was 1.2 million prims there. We've got actually the music stream working. So if I click on here, there you go.
Yeah, I hear it.
Jazz.
Yep.
Yeah, a little bit of jazz.
Yeah,
we've got that working
nice.
as well. Appearance doesn't work. Searching kind of works, sort of. So yeah, there's a lot of things working and a lot of things half working.
It's in progress. Yeah,
it's in progress. Yeah,
right.
I mean, if I go, if I just, that's because I've got a storm on, so it's flooding because of the storm. Let's make it calm again. That's better. You will be able to
wreck
control
that grand piano.
I hate it when my piano gets wet. Right.
I know, it's awful. So we have got building working, Control B. So we have got
I was going to ask. I wasn't even going to hope for that. Oh my goodness.
So yeah, basically the goal is that this will be Firestorm in a web browser.
Okay.
And so we've been like literally going through the code. So if I actually edit an object, you can see that it's got the editing thing.
Sure.
I can't move it around because it's not my object, but you can see it's picking up all the stars, the owners and everything from it.
Lone, that is so interesting because, you know, Second Life has been, and OpenSim have kind of been unique in the building tools, as is my understanding. So many of the other platforms say, no, you got to author in Unity and then publish as an instance. And, you know, you can't edit once you're in it. So this is amazing in a web viewer.
And you can see here, I've actually created a cube.
Excellent.
Inworld. So go me. Go me. I've still got editing on. But. So the other thing is this is fully mobile compatible. You can run it on a mobile phone or a tablet. And if you have a VR headset, you can click this little VR button.
No.
Oh, look, somebody's landed. This always happens to me.
Okay.
You can click the little VR button and it'll go into VR and you can literally walk around your region.
Nice.
And it's incredible being in world, really in world. And I remember the first time I actually swore a little bit when I landed. I was like, I swore a little bit because of the feeling of being on Wolf Territories grid was just something else.
No,
so that's really where that's at kind of at the moment.
Yeah, let me ask a question about the VR because are you running on a browser in the VR headset operating system or using a tethered computer? You're using the headset. It's
just a browser. Wow. So what you do is you basically pull up a browser in the headset.
Yeah.
You go to the Wolf Grid, the Wolfstorm page. You log in as normal in the browser. Then you just click the VR button, and like magic, you're in world.
That's brilliant.
Wow.
Brilliant.
You don't even need to download a client into the VR headset. And the goal is that it's going to be compatible with just about any VR headset that's got a browser. So even like Google Glass are like £12 or something. And then we've just got to build a bit of interfacing. So
I'm thinking of using it in education, in art programs. There's so much. It opens a lot of doors. Yeah. It's very good.
Exactly what we wanted to do.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is someone who's not in VR can still access whatever resource is being
Right.
shown. Do you know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
And
Yeah.
so we move away from needing a big, powerful gaming computer to running on any old browser, pretty much. So Chromecast users can use it, and a lot of education people have
Oh, wow.
Chromecast.
Yep.
Sorry, Chrome
Yeah.
laptop.
Chromebooks. Yeah.
Obviously, Linux. We don't care what you're running on, and that's actually one of the ethoses of my little company, Wolf Software Systems Limited, is that we don't care what you're running on. We want our software to run on it and run well,
Including Macs.
including Macs. It'll work on Macs.
Excellent.
Anything with a browser, basically,
Nice.
That's beautiful.
should be able to run it.
This is a little tangent, but you know, in my previous statement about building tools, I think I remember that Meta Horizons actually had some building tools. They were kind of hard to use, but did you hear the news that that's being shut down?
I did. I mean, it was like on Monday I heard it was being shut down, and Tuesday I heard it wasn't. And I did actually have a little bash at Meta Horizons, but I think actually the years and years of development of Firestorm, which is a very cool viewer, really.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, those building tools actually work so well that we've actually also got the little menus.
Oh, the pie menus.
Pie menus.
Yeah.
Pie menus, yeah.
Nice.
So that
Very
needs a bit of
good.
work.
Yeah,
So,
I did have a lot of hope for the Horizon building tools, and I used them a little bit. And I thought this captures a little bit in VR, but I've always been so disappointed that I could not get into my builds in VR. That's what I really wanted to do, and I tried the old Firestorm plugins; they were dissatisfying. But this is brilliant, brilliant.
Yeah, so this you don't have to do any of that. You just go in with your browser, you click the VR button, and you're in world. It's literally that simple.
Very cool.
So yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah.
It is.
I think that's all I can think. Oh, Minimap works as well.
Excellent.
Snapshot will take a screen.
Okay. How many lindens does it cost to upload a picture?
Nothing, of course.
I know,
I've never ever. I've always thought that's a bit of a little scam.
Yeah.
Hey, every corner you can pick up a penny from a million people. You know.
I'm just like, no. The only thing we charge for in our grid is the regions, and that's because we are spending a lot of money every month on servers. It is a lot of money.
I believe it. Yeah.
And you know, and what's been good as well is MariaDB. We're involved with MariaDB and IBM as well on other projects, and they've been really supportive as well of the grid.
Okay.
So
very
nice.
Know,
MariaDB, for people who don't know, actually power a lot of grids and also power a lot of the internet. In fact, and I did a talk for them in Brussels the other week as well, and a few weeks before I went out for dinner with Monty, who actually wrote the MySQL originally.
Oh wow!
Which was
wow!
So not dropping names or anything, and trying to feel special.
Cool to know where he's gone.
What it is.
Yeah. So he's with MariaDB. Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
is that
basically
a UK company?
No, I don't know where he.
Yeah.
They're all over the world.
Okay.
They are all over
Global.
the world, literally.
Yep.
So
yep.
So that's that. So another project that we've got that's open source. So this is in development. I reckon in about a month, we'll probably be letting people have a little go on it. We have got a few beta testers, as I said before.
That's fast. That's fast, man.
But as you can see, there's just a lot of loose ends to tie up, and we need to check security and things like that, working it properly.
Right.
Sure.
Well, before we move on from that, I don't know if you want to, get to some other things, but what do you think were the biggest challenges? And I mean, there's just challenge after challenge, but was there a particular hurdle that hit you the hardest?
Getting the terrain to work was a horrendous job.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That was the first horrendous job. When I did that, it took me weeks. And actually understanding the whole OpenSym protocol and trying to decode it properly and understand what was going on with it.
Okay.
Making the browser, making it quick enough. I mean, we're still working on the speed of it, but, it does resin pretty quickly. But obviously, remember that we're moving most of the processing to the Rust server. So the front end's not doing as much work. So that was a huge job. Avatars. Oh, my gosh.
Oh, really?
Rendering avatars.
Okay.
Weeks and weeks and weeks of frustration. I had legs and
Oh.
arms up in the air. You should have seen some of the outtakes. It was horrendous. Like, where's his
Wow.
head? And then I'd
Wow.
get that work. Then I teleport, and when I landed at the other side, there was no avatar. It would be corrupted, and that was all to do.
Oh.
So because they're different technologies, so we're using something called 3.js to actually do the 3D rendering,
Okay.
and it's a completely different technology to the technology in Firestorm, even to the point of the things like being Z up rather than Y up and the things like that, and having to translate everything over.
Right.
And then
Does
you've
it
got
work
things
on?
like,
Does it work on both kinds of avatars, or only system, or only mesh?
it'll
or-
work on any avatars now,
That's fantastic. Good.
but it
Mhm.
was a job, and we are still we've still got a bit of funniness going on with avatars, but we'll get there. But the main thing is that that's working. HUDs
Good.
was another thing that was, in fact, it's like I'd get through one thing and then I'd hit the next thing and I'd go,
Mhm.
I thought this was going to be easy, you know. It's like sculpted prims. So these little palm trees here, they're sculpted prims, and to protect them, what they do is they make them transparent. So if you look at the actual texture, it's transparent. So how are you supposed to get the data from it?
Oh.
Oh my god, it's just like endless. It was endless, but we have got it done,
Wow.
you know, and you can see it's all working pretty well. And very soon it'll be
Yeah,
out there.
look fine. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looks great. All right.
Cool. Okay, so that was
Stormy
that.
night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you want to see something else?
Fantastic.
Yes, I do. I do. You were
I
gonna
want to
So,
see everything.
talk about wolf stack, or I can't remember.
Full stack. So we
Yeah.
this is nothing to do with OpenSIM in a way,
Right.
but it
right.
is another way. We run a lot of Proxmox clusters. Some of them for clients, some of them for, and the grid is running on one that has like 6 or 7 nodes. And we were getting a bit fed up with having all these separate web browsers open. So we wanted to manage all our servers in one place. And so we built this, which is WolfStack. And WolfStack is designed to be installed. You can install it on any kind of server. It'll run on Raspberry Pi, and you can build clusters of servers. So like if you, let's say you have an existing, let's say you have a couple of it, let's say you got 3 servers and one of them's a database, you can install WolfStack on all 3 of them and turn them into a cluster, and then start managing them and setting up containers to run things in. Anyone that knows about Proxmox will know what this is. It's like Proxmox, but if you added a lot more facilities, like being able to set up status pages, you can run, this is complicated, but you can run Kubernetes clusters on it. It'll look after all your backups, and if you've got Proxmox backup, you can actually back up directly.
Well, and let me ask,
source
typically a grid manager or a grid administrator really would, I mean, how much of that is command line based as opposed to having a GUI?
If you're running on Linux, you wouldn't have a GUI at all.
Yeah.
You do it all in the command line, and that's cool. We've got like 33,000, the equivalent of 33,000 Second Life regions to manage, thousands of users. We've got 5-node MariaDB Galera cluster database running. So I just wanted something to manage it all in one place. I mean, it's even like you can set up let's set up a workflow, create a workflow. So what we're going to do is we're going to update the system packages. I can then choose which server it runs on, and even if they're on different clusters, so you can like manage all your servers from one place. And this is completely open source. You can download it today.
Right.
We get to about 20 downloads a day of this.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And there's wolfstack.org is the website. So you just go here, and if you've got an existing server, you can just run it. You just run one command, and it'll install the whole of WolfStack
Oh, it's
with
fantastic.
all the stuff on it. And on this, I love VR, so I built a 3D server room
Nice.
that you can actually, you've got a VR headset, you click a button and you can actually be walking around your server room. Now this is actually a tiny little demo of a 3-node cluster, but we actually have one with a lot more nodes, and it's literally like being able to wander around and look at them, and you can see these little lights on the front. If there is an issue, they'll be showing them there. The other thing it's got is it's got
Actually reflected
alerting in it.
data. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can actually set up alerting, and it can talk to Discord, it can talk to Slack or Telegram. It's got AI built into it. This one hasn't been configured yet, but so when it's doing, what you can do is set it up to scan all your servers, and and keep an eye on them for you. And when it finds something, not only does it tell you what's wrong, it'll tell you what you should do to fix it. We don't give it the power to actually do the fixing. It's too dangerous. Yeah, so that's it really, and it'll help you. You can even see the storage, how the storage is set up on the disk.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyone who knows Proxmox, you can set up and run Ceph clusters in it. So we built this other one of the other real frustrating things about having lots of servers is networking, because what normally has to happen is you have to set up, especially let's say, I don't know, OVH Cloud or let's say Hetzner or someone like that. If you rent 3 servers from them, they will have different IP addresses and they won't be connected in any way unless you rent something called a VLAN. So, but rather than do that, you can just install WolfStack on it, and it installs something called WolfNet, which creates a private network, military grade private network across that cluster.
Ooh.
So you can cluster anything. And the other thing is that with Proxmox and things like that, you tend to have the same processes and everything. WolfStack really doesn't care. It will run on anything. So like in the office, we've got a Raspberry Pi and 3 servers. So, so we can figure it up.
Cool.
And yeah, so that's a lot of things. And we've tested this on an IBM Power server. They're ridiculously expensive, but absolutely wonderful, which is a RISC processor. Because Raspberry Pis are also not standard processors, but because the whole thing is written in Rust, it's lightning fast and tiny. So, it hardly uses any processor at all.
Right. People, I feel like people sometimes will downplay the aspect of a GUI, having a graphic interface.
Yeah.
But to me, having that interface, it's a mental organization assistant, because there are so many things to be configured, so many things to be managed, and having that user interface is a way really of mentally keeping track of what can I do, and not just doing it, but what can I do with this tool. And a command line, you've got to be such an expert to know every command that's available to manage your server.
I wasn't going to do this. This is actually 4 clusters. 3 of these are Proxmox clusters, and I've just installed WolfStack, and there's the grid there.
Okay.
So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 machines there.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Basically. So this is WolfStack here, WolfGrid here. This is these are all client servers. This is so there's a thing called Minio, which is like a tool for running object storage, which is how we store all our assets. So this is the backup servers to the main asset stores is there. And what we did really was I just wanted to see it all in one place. So you can see the virtual server room now. It's much bigger.
Look at that. Wow.
And you can see, you see the grid servers, wherever they are. Yeah, here they are. You can see some of them have got like orange lights in the middle. That's because they're always running hard on memory.
Okay.
But if you're in VR, again, you can see this all in VR.
That's so cool.
It's open source. It's literally open source. Anyone can download it. It's got things like it's got a built-in file manager. So, for instance, if I pick, let's see. Oh, this is running Kubernetes cluster. But let's go to the grid. Let's have a look at something on the grid. So, little baby's a tiny server.
Okay.
Yeah. So little baby, and it shows you what's going on with all of them. I can log
baby server.
Little baby. So regions 95, this is actually a region server, so I'll pull that up. Let's go look at some regions. There they all are. Those are live regions
Wow.
running. So I'm managing it all, sitting here in my boat in London, and they're actually in Germany.
Fantastic.
So yeah, that doesn't have a lot of them. This one, for instance, has quite a lot of containers on it. So yeah, it's free to download and install. There's an ISO if you want to run it on a USB stick, you can just to have a look at it. But you can see how much. See regions 51. That's got a bit low on storage.
Customer service for this arrangement then would be immediate, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, basically, we generally know within about 4 seconds of there being an issue. So the AI thing is always scanning 24 hours a day, looking at the servers, and then coming up with issues. So like we've got an issue, I can actually make it scan now. So now it's scanning 14 servers in different places. So
Hmm.
it'll tell you certbots failed on there. The grid
So you-
is, as you can see, running really badly.
Yeah, well,
It's not. It's actually running really well because they are massive servers. So when it says, you know, it's not quite as bad as that. Baby CPU usage is always high, but it'll go down on its own. But it's having that ability, and I can ask it questions as well. I can say, servers are having problems. This probably won't work because I'm not in the office. Oh no, it's going to work.
Okay.
Okay. There are no Proxmox clusters. That's wrong, but I'll talk to it later. It's its own fault. Yeah, so that's it. That's WolfStack. So that's
Man.
a thing we built really to manage our servers. So,
Lone, what
yeah.
army of people did you
Fantastic.
have building this?
Me, mainly me. Actually, it was just me. I literally one day got up and I thought it was actually about 8 months ago. I thought I have had enough of Proxmox where I have to have 3 screens open to view 3 servers, and I can't even look at my Minio cluster because it has a GUI, but it doesn't tell me what was going on. What was really funny as well, we installed WolfStack on these 2 chaps, and we found 2 Docker containers running. We didn't even know were there.
Oh, right.
Those you got rid of, but this is also running Kubernetes. The other thing is, I really hate computer waste, and I really. It's something I despise Microsoft for, is the way that they're forcing people to go to Windows 11 and dump their perfectly good computer. And so one of the goals of this was to do this with servers. So when you've got servers, or even if you have some old laptops, you can build a WolfStack cluster on them rather than throwing them away.
Right.
You know,
right.
so
Very
you
cool.
can get rid of.
Yeah, they're not pumping pixels of graphics or sound. So that's
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, and you can actually run Windows on it and everything.
Oh, you can.
So you can, in a virtual machine, yeah. So
Right.
in fact, if I go over to the other one, this is that little tiny cluster. I think I've got a feeling I've got a Windows VM running here somewhere. No, I haven't. I deleted it. Okay, but you can set up a virtual machines to do different jobs as well in there. It all works pretty well. So that's all very technical. Oh, and it has an app store as well. So if you set up a server,
okay,
you can create a Docker container LXC or whatever, and then you can just use the app store. So, and in the app store, I've put OpenSim
That's a whole new
MGC.
concept.
Yeah, so you can hit install. It'll build you OpenSim MGC. It'll build you a MariaDB database and a full configuration. All you have to do is go install like that, fill in a few things, hit go, and it will actually build an LXC container for you that you can run it. So you can start building a grid if you want to.
Wow. So I have a
Very
terrible
nice.
question. You might get mad
Go on.
about this, but would any of this tie into building a marketplace for your grid? Or is that something really external to the management of the grid itself? Okay.
Yeah, a marketplace. We do actually have a marketplace at WolfGrid.
Yeah.
But really, this is for powering that sort of thing, powering
Okay.
applications
Got
and
it.
websites and marketplace. And so you could build that on top of this without a problem.
I know
Cool.
OpenSim has resisted marketplaces for quite a while, but part of it is philosophical, but I also think part of it is just the technical challenge. I think it's it's not a small reach.
If I go to wolfgrid.com,
yeah,
our website. This is our website, by the way, for for the grid.
Yep.
I'm going to log in. And if I go to market, there it is. It was there all along. So what we did was, rather than, so I know a lot of people go, oh, everything should be free and all that. So what we do is, rather than actually you sell stuff here, we actually have visit. So you can actually visit the place where you can pick up the stuff in World.
Okay.
Because we want that philosophy to drive you to go in World,
right?
To go to people's places and have a look, because there's always stuff to look at,
Sure. And always people with stuff that they want looked at. Yeah.
Right.
So that was that, really.
Yeah, very cool.
Very nice.
That's excellent.
Very nice. This is actually running on WolfStack. So yeah.
Okay.
So there we go. Yeah. So if people are interested in that, wolfstack.org is that. wolf-grid.com is the Grid's website.
Yeah, and we'll put those in the description once
Yeah,
we're
thanks
done
very
with
much.
the show. Yeah, it's great to get that stuff. One, thinking about the combination of tools that you have. Well, first of all, I just want to reflect. I remember very on with Wolf Territories, the amazing back end of being able to take down a region and put it back up while people were
Yep.
still on it, which doesn't happen anywhere. I mean, that is
Yeah,
really
yeah,
phenomenal. And then,
Yeah.
do you see anything being like a major breakthrough that got you to a point with the technology that you're putting together?
I think Wolfstack itself is a major breakthrough,
Yeah,
to be
yeah,
honest.
I had the
And
same
without that,
feeling. Yeah.
it just means we can really manage all our servers really easily, and it builds the basis for us to power our the web viewer as well.
Mm-hmm.
But a little secret is that we are actually planning to and have written part of the OpenSim server software in Rust. We've started on working on that.
Oh, interesting.
And that will mean that you'll be able to run it on anything without .NET. It will be mega fast, but that's a project probably for later this year.
Yeah,
because I do need to have a couple of days off.
Another small one. Yeah, another small project you're looking
Another little
at.
project, just while we're doing it.
Maybe a little vacation wedged in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even know what that means.
So
Wow.
since you're creating all of this, let me ask, you're creating all of this and it's really outside the box type of thinking. Is this going to upset any other corporate entities, or are anybody going to say you're stepping on our toes?
Yeah, we don't really care.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
No,
we have-
it's
yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, the Proxmox clustering. So with Wolfstack is like 12 or 13 different tools that you use separately that we've done in one thing. And so Proxmox would be the major competition for it. But what we don't do is exclude Proxmox. You can actually install Wolfstack on top of Proxmox, and Proxmox doesn't know it's there. So, what?
And it's more customers for them too. They can look at it that way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
It
Yeah.
means people, because
Another
the biggest
option.
thing for us is nobody likes migrating stuff because it's painful and it can go very wrong. So we went the other way and said, why don't you just install Wolfstack on top of Proxmox? Proxmox carries on working, it carries on doing all the things it was doing before, but Wolfstack can help you out with it. It's like Proxmox's best mate.
That's
So,
excellent. Very
so
excellent.
that's it. Yeah, I mean, when I first did my first video about Wolfstorm, I did get some really negative comments, and I just thought,
Oh no.
I don't really understand you. I don't understand why you feel the need to say this stuff. I'm doing something, that I know people have tried in the past, and it is really complex. Just be nice,
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well, the world is acrimonious. There's a negative vibe out there, and a lot of times people think immediately of lawsuits and this, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
So it's really nice to know that something that can help everybody is being done. It's
Well,
great.
Having
That's what we
a
wanna do.
rich, diverse environment of tools. I think that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just,
It is.
I mean, we're funded by GitHub. People giving us money on GitHub. So that's basically, if someone wants to have a little donation to us, we do appreciate it. The grid doesn't really break even. So
Wow.
financially,
Of
but the thing is, with
course,
open
yeah.
source is it gets funded through grants. So we've got some grant applications in. But if people do want to have a little bit of a share, you can visit our website, wolfstack.org, and you can see it all there. But
Is there a
we just
place
want
on
people to try it. Sorry?
I'm sorry. Is there a place on any of your regions that do you have a kiosk somewhere or something like that
We do on the website.
for donations? Okay, website's
just
good.
go on the
Yeah.
website. I'm not
Okay.
a huge donation fan. We just need to fund.
Yeah.
The more funding we have, the more time we can spend on it. Is basically where we have, and less client work we have to do to actually fund it all.
Well,
You
I
know.
wanted an opportunity to say how easy it was to set up an account and go visit WolfGrid.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
why I
thank
just
you.
asked you the last question.
Yeah.
So,
I'm glad.
but it was a piece of cake. Yeah.
Yeah, we've done a lot of work on that because at one point it was really
Well,
horrible.
Yeah.
it's-
Well,
Yeah,
you fixed it.
the worst thing was the password. It was like you need 49 characters, 3 of them are uppercase, 2 are lowercase, and an exclamation mark. And
Wait,
if
what?
some people go, I can't get the password to work. So,
Wow.
you know.
Well, let me ask how is the community on Wolf Territories doing? I mean, we're kind of focused a lot on technology here, and I want you to have all the opportunity to talk about the tech that you have. But just curious, how are things feeling on Wolf Grid? I had a great visit there the last time we were there.
We have a lot of very dispersed. We have lots of mini communities rather than one big one,
Uh-huh.
really, I suppose. And so because I'm coding all the time, I don't get to.
You
I
don't
don't
get
get
out
to go to
much.
things. I don't get out much, and of
Mm.
course
Yeah.
with my autism as well, I do find right relationships with people quite difficult.
Mm-hmm.
So I do try and go to the odd thing, but most of the time you'll find me sitting there back in a server room hacking code.
Yep.
You know, but I'm really, if anyone does want to have a chat, I'm really happy to talk to people. You know, just come and
Absolutely.
Knock
add
on
me
the
as a
door.
friend,
And
Yeah.
add me as a friend, knock on the door.
Yeah, and
you know.
I feel like Wolf Territories has gotten a good number of cheerleaders. I mean, you know, there are some I've heard some good evangelizing, I guess would be the word. You know, people talking
Yeah.
about how solid the grid is and how the community's being built, and we've seen the educators are really doing good on Wolf, so it's
Jimmy.
good. Yeah, Jimmy's doing
Jimmy.
fantastic.
Jimmy won't steer you wrong.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
That's it. Yeah, we have got some wonderful, wonderful people on the grid, and you quietly talk to me and remind me that they, like,
Yep.
yeah, remind me that I'm not communicating enough. You know, but
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
Which
you're
is true,
busy.
which I need, kind of. I
Yeah.
need it
Yeah.
really, because otherwise I too tend to drift in my own little world. But as I said, I'm really happy to talk tech with anybody and to talk about what we're doing. You know, there's no closed doors. We've got a really good Discord group. If you're on Wolfstack, there's a Discord group for Wolfstack as well. So
Good.
you're very welcome to join that.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
Okay.
Wow, fantastic. Well, do you have any other tech you'd like to emphasize today? You've shown so much already.
So, yeah, we have got some other things as well. I'll just quickly talk about. We've got something called Wolf Scale, which is for clustering MariaDB servers, because we felt that we've used Galera Cluster, which is MariaDB's solution, for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But we wanted to do things in a different way with Wolf Scale. So that was an experiment that kind of went a bit crazy. And that went viral as well on GitHub. And I didn't even notice until one day I was looking at our repositories and I was like, wait a minute, look at all the stars that's
Oh,
got.
wow. Okay.
And then it was really funny. We were approached by a venture capitalist last week
Ooh.
who went,
Yep.
"We're
I'm not
really interested."
surprised.
And I'm like, really? Why?
Yeah. For what?
That's ongoing talks. But to be honest, I really like just doing stuff without all that.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
And so
Yeah.
the more people that can get our stuff and deploy it and enjoy it, the better, as far as
Yeah.
I'm concerned.
Well, and that's
As long
got to
as
be
we can
a tough question as an organization, because you get involved with stuff like that. That's probably going to need more staff. More of a business manager, more of things like that, and that's a tough threshold to cross. Yeah.
Yeah, open source is real difficult because it's fine if you're a massive company because you can afford to do it. But if you're tiny like us, it's quite hard because it's much easier for us to just go and get lots of big client jobs. But I'm not really there. Do you know what I mean? I've got some amazing guys. In fact, I'm just going to say that. So about half the jobs that are run on the railways when they're repairing the railways in the UK are run on a system we built.
How about that?
What?
How about that?
Okay.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was so excited
excellent.
when I got that job. Yeah. So and that's running on Wolfstack as well.
Oh, wow. Very
Yeah.
nice.
So yeah.
All right. Well,
Cool.
this has been fantastic. Like I said, this has been a technology feast talking to you today.
For real.
I really appreciate it.
real.
Yeah, Pet Love, do you have any extra questions you'd like to cover?
I think I already asked the extra ones.
Yeah.
And we've talked about you've explained the challenges and the joys involved in what you're doing, and I guess the best way people can keep up with the news about your progress and what's going on at Wolf Territories. Maybe you could tell us if you want to, give a website or a statement where
So,
people can look you up.
basically join our Discord is the easiest way. So there's
Okay.
two Discords. There's the Wolf Territories Grid Discord, and then if you're using Wolfstack or want to go down that route with the servers and stuff like that, there's a link to Discord there. And
Okay.
if you become a GitHub subscriber, you get private access to some very nice private rooms and things that we have
Mhm.
going on. So
Oh.
yeah,
Okay. Good. Thank you.
no worries.
All right. Well, thanks. Thanks so much for being with us here today. And we're not going to keep you any longer than we have to. So I think we're about ready to wrap up.
That was fast. That was a fast
It went
hour.
quick. Yeah, yeah. And then,
Yeah.
Pet Love, we didn't talk about this, but did you want to mention something about project you're considering
It's a little
with
premature.
Machinima? Is it okay?
Yeah,
All
I
right.
was thinking of. I will say, since you brought it up,
Yeah.
I'm going to start looking for interesting things about machinima and AI and machinima without AI, and
Mm-hmm.
see if we can expand on that a little bit.
All
Yeah,
right.
but it
Well.
is premature.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, it's an exciting thought, so I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to seeing what comes up.
Okay.
All right. Well, once again, thank you so much for being with us today, Lone Wolf. This is
No
great to get
worries.
you here,
Anytime.
and I hope we can drive some more people to experience the things that are happening at Wolf Territories and the
Yeah,
tools that you're
brilliant.
developing.
Brilliant.
And I'm going to be watching this viewer, this Wolf Storm, pretty darn amazing.
I might even let you have
Yeah.
a go.
Let us what? I missed that.
Okay. Have a
Might even
go.
let you have a go. You
Okay.
never know.
Yeah.
All right.
In a
All
week
right.
or
Cool.
two.
Yeah.
Give it
Yeah.
a
All right.
shot.
Well, give it the time it needs for sure.
Yeah.
No pressure from us. So, and I know that you will.
And
So,
and take a vacation once in a while because
yeah,
you got to stay healthy.
What?
We need you.
that's right.
What's that word? I don't know what that word is. What does
Yeah,
it
what
mean?
is that? What's that mean?
It starts with a V. That's all I know.
All right. Well,
Uh,
and then I'll just say thank you to everybody. Oh, did you have something else to say, Lone Wolf?
No, I'm done.
Okay. All right.
okay.
All right. Well, then I'll say to our viewers, thank you so much for keeping on with the Inworld Review. We're trying to keep that spirit alive, and we've got a big slate of guests coming up. So stick with us as we move forward here. And as always, spend some time taking care of each other, finding kindness where you can, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time on the Inworld Review.
So long.